Closing in on a week since VyStar Pavillion opened their doors in Port Wentworth, and tonight they hosted roughly 4,000 people with another live performance, a country concert featuring Billy Currington and Kip Moore. WSAV's Isabella Baez spoke with fans and officials about what it means to have this entertainment space in their backyard.
A full parking lot for another night of entertainment at VyStar Pavillion, a space that had many residents concerned about traffic and noise. But some say now that it's here, they're excited for the opportunity to see live music so close to home. Port Wentworth's Anchor Park is ticketed at $25 million, and a part of that price tag includes the VyStar Pavillion, a 5,000-seat venue. The project has been in the works for around 3 years, and now residents and visitors can enjoy all it has to offer. One family saying it isn't their first time here, but the first time they can actually enjoy it.
Actually, I haul concrete pipe, and I see all the pipe out there, so I was in and out of this place 1,000 times watching this get built.
So now that you saw it get built, how does it feel for it to finally be
good? And that's why I want to see the inside and enjoy the atmosphere.
Many residents in the past have been vocal about traffic concerns and noise, but James Tutchin, Port Wentworth's Director of Economic Development, says there are plans in place to help alleviate some of the vehicle traffic.
This little resolution, and we're building Anchor Trail, this 15-mile when it all connects, so you don't have to worry about traffic. You can hop in your golf cart or your bike or rollerblades and do a 10-foot wide trail around the city.
Friday, VyStar Pavillion held their second entertainment event, but their first ever country concert, featuring Savannah-born Billy Currington and Kip Moore. And for one Colorado resident, those names brought her to the Coastal Empire for the first time ever.
I've been a longtime fan since like 2016, and I've never been to Savannah, but strictly to see Kip Moore.
Also in Anchor Park, the Ice Cove, that features a restaurant and a hockey rink. That is expected to open sometime in September. Reporting in Port Wentworth, I'm Isabella Baez, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Now to that breaking news we brought you tonight at 6. Savannah Police Department employees are now out of a job following an investigation into the misuse of the flock camera system. They were all originally placed on leave after a review of system activity found searches that were conducted for purposes unrelated to law enforcement. SPD's investigation determined the employees violated department policies for the use of department resources. Those searches involved personal connections and family members, and an instance where an officer gave access to the flock system to someone in another law enforcement agency. Savannah Police Chief Lenny Gunther spoke about the investigation earlier this week.
Because we take data privacy and oversight seriously, every search conducted in the flock system leaves a permanent digital footprint recording the user, date, time, and stated reason. So out of those nearly 40,000 searches this year, the automated audit tool flagged 127 entries that warranted a closer look due to discrepancies between the listed search reasons and the search patterns.
Savannah Mayor Van Johnson releasing a statement tonight on Facebook in response to the news, saying in part, "Technology is a powerful tool for keeping Savannah safe, but with that power comes an equally important responsibility to use it lawfully and appropriately. Misuse cannot and will not be tolerated." The names of the fired employees have not been released at this time, and a criminal investigation by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is ongoing. A recent arrest at Daffin Park is creating some security and safety concerns. Savannah police arrested 30-year-old LaShawna Doyle yesterday in connection with the attempted sexual assault. According to Chatham County records, Doyle has faced more than 24 charges dating back to 2013. Police say this is the first incident of this severity reported at Daffin Park in the last 2 years, though they say there have been some property crimes during that time. We ask if this incident prompted any conversations about adding resources or increasing patrols at Daffin Park.
When we have a serious incident occur, we do review and evaluate the information and the data that we get to see if we need to shift resources, bring in additional resources, just so that we can make sure we're staying on top of keeping our community safe.
And Beatty also says the park has cameras and is routinely patrolled by officers. She also points to city staff being on site daily. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation arresting a Toombs County man on child exploitation charges. The GBI says Blake Todd was arrested Tuesday after an investigation into possession and distribution of child sex abuse material. Todd was charged with 1 count of sexual exploitation of children and booked into the Toombs County Jail. This investigation is part of an ongoing effort by the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. Anyone with information about other child exploitation cases is asked to contact them. Well, WSAV is your local election headquarters. Early voting for South Carolina's special Republican primary is over. The death of longtime U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham created an open race. Now some candidates are making last-minute push for the support from Lowcountry residents. Mark Sanford spent much of his day on Hilton Head Island and in Bluffton. The former governor and congressman took a hands-on approach to campaigning, shaking hands with potential voters at Java Burrito. Sanford says he enjoys the personal touch when it comes to politics. And with a small turnout expected in the race, every vote counts.
A farmer put it to me best. He said, you know, think about it this way. We have a government that goes out and spends money it doesn't have, and then it turns around and prints money that's not there. What's that do to the value of every dollar I have? It diminishes it. And people are feeling that effect today, which makes, again, what we're talking about, and frankly, the focal point of this campaign, I think, very relevant to people's lives.
Sanford reminded voters he was considered the most fiscally responsible governor during his time in office and would take that same conservative tone if elected to the Senate. Well, tomorrow, current Congressman and candidate for U.S. Senate Ralph Norman will host a campaign event in Hilton Head. It starts at 4:45 p.m. at the Palmetto Hall Golf and Country Club. Well, you can stay up to date with the latest political happenings in both South Carolina and Georgia anytime on our website. Visit wsav.com/election-HQ. Fans of Georgia Southern athletics will soon hear a new man behind the microphone. Adam Young has been named the 4th voice of the Eagles. He succeeds Danny Reed in the role, who announced his departure this summer. Young tells WSAV that sports broadcasting has been a lifelong dream, and he has spent time all across the country following his passion. He has most recently called 7 sports at New Mexico State University. For GSU, Young will be the play-by-play announcer for football, men's basketball, and baseball. He says getting to football practice has made the new roles start to sink in.
I'm excited for these next 24 practices and to watch this story start to unfold. Coach Helton has been unbelievably nice to me during this entire process, and everyone I talk to talks about how great of a person he is on top of being a great coach. So I look forward to building that relationship with him.
To see our full interview with Young, visit our website, wsav.com. Tybee Island leaders encouraging you to sign a national petition to support federal funding for beach nourishment and other coastal protection projects. They say the Yes to Beaches campaign is a must. It is led by the American Coastal Coalition and comes as Tybee continues to push for money to restore its eroding shoreline. They want to show Congress there is strong public support for continued investment in the nation's beaches. Tybee officials say coastal communities are competing for a shrinking pool of federal dollars. The coalition says beach nourishment helps protect homes, businesses, and infrastructure from storms while also supporting tourism, wildlife habitat, and the economy. The petition will be delivered to Congress this fall, and you can learn much more and even sign it simply by visiting wsav.com. Well, if you still need to get some back-to-school shopping done, South Carolina is now the time to do it. It's the place to be. The state's annual tax-free weekend started today. Hundreds of items qualify for the exemption, including backpacks, notebooks, and school uniforms. Not all back-to-school purchases, however, are exempt. You will be taxed on items like smartphones, e-readers, and sports equipment. The South Carolina Department of Revenue says during last year's tax-free weekend, shoppers saved more than $1.5 million on more than $25 million of eligible items. Tax-free weekend will run through this Sunday, August 9th.